What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming out to the stream. Today I'm going to be shoutcasting Evaniskus' solo queue. This is going to be his very last placement match, and we'll see exactly where he is after this. He's going for 8-2. We'll see if he can make it, if he can accomplish the dream. Remember, this is a series where I cast every single day to try to get better, so remember to give me your feedback and your comments. And yesterday was fun doing a LAN party, but today we're going to do it back in the studio. And here we go into the loading screen, so you can go ahead and see everyone who's participating in this game. On the blue team, it will be Hunt Doggy on Lulu, supporting Robus Chaos on Lucian. Roland Dice is going to be mid lane Oriana. Hori will be top Singed, and Aramis will be jungling Shaco. Let me throw up the client. There we go. Perfect. Almost perfect. And perfect. On our red team, it is going to be Shifter up in the top, or in the mid lane on Yasuo. Spermbomb 840, which is actually the name of Evaniskus there, will be jungling Shyvana. Peekabee is going to be on Graves, AD carry, supported by Allison playing Thresh, and Zion Spartan will be in the top lane on Riven. So some very noticeable players on the red team. Blue team I'm not too familiar with, but we'll see if they can take down these challengers, or if they're going to fall to the might of two members here of Complexity. Wait, no, yeah. No, Zion Spartan is on Coast, isn't he? They're on Coast, aren't they? Yeah, Shifter and Zion Spartan, of course. Of course, I know things. And then Evaniskus, of course, the former support of Velocity Esports, now the support of Skyline, previously known as the Dad Slammers. One of the greatest team names of all time, unfortunately. It is no longer. It'll be interesting to see here a Shaco jungle, not something we see too much of. It typically is an early game gank bot where you simply try and maybe steal away some buffs or counter jungle a little bit, and then just make as much presence in the lanes as you can, using that stealth, that slow, that fear to just consistently shut down each lane, getting all of your lanes ahead, because Shaco himself doesn't scale that well. He has some pretty good mechanics with his ultimate ability. When he has that clone up, he can actually do quite a lot with on-hit items like a Ravenous Hydra or Static Shiv that can proc on both of them, but ultimately it won't be as strong as, say, this jungle Shyvana in the late game, so he's going to mostly be relegated to split pushing later on there. In the middle lane, Shifter going aggressively on the roll and dice, throwing down the ignite and the auto attack, but the ignite's not. Oh, he flashes in for the last hit. Shifter taking first blood. The flash beat the reflexes of Roland Dice, who was not able to flash in time, and taking that, Aramis is going to go to steal this red buff, which is still there. Shyvana, unfortunately, only on these wolves, so a very quick blue from Aramis is going to allow him to steal away Evaniskus' red buff. Robus Chaos taking a bit of damage down here. Lucian can lose out to Graves early, but he will scale out better than him going into the mid to late game. Lucian's typically a mid-game carry, but almost no one is stronger in burst potential than Graves. However, Graves doesn't have a lot of siege potential, which is pretty much Lucian's middle name. The Flay goes down on the Hunt Doggy, doing a lot of damage. The quick draw comes in, but the death sentence just doesn't quite connect. Evaniskus knew that Shaco was going to be stealing away his red, so he actually came down to steal away the opposing red. A good move there from Evaniskus, reading that, going to secure both buffs. Aramis potentially looking for his first gank. Zion Spartan looks pretty vulnerable. He's pushed up far, and he does have his Broken Wings and Valor, which does give him a lot of movement potential, but it might not be enough to escape if he has on low health and caught out. And here is Shaco coming up top. Aramis going to look to cut off Zion Spartan. Hori just playing safely, trying to bait it in just a bit. He's going to go for that fling, though. Zion Spartan uses the Valor. Oh, the box goes down a little bit too far into the lane, and Zion Spartan escapes cleanly there. Robus Chaos in the bottom lane grabs out a kill, but Evaniskus is there for the return, and that was a trade 1-for-1. Yes, it was. Who else? Oh, it was Thresh that died. I'm going to go ahead and adjust these so you can see exactly where these lanes are to add them up. Let's see who's doing how. There's Yasuo in mid, and we are good to go. Peekabee and Evaniskus just pushing out this bottom lane. They don't want Lucian to get any of those creeps, and he's actually going to miss quite a few to the turret here as he still is running in. Up in top, this... Oh, in the middle lane, there's the gank get from Aramis. He's finally going to get that box. Oh, I hope he will. Shifter's running off a smart way so that Aramis can't throw the box there. Shifter continuing to run. Finally has a slow buff from the red as well as the E from Shaco. Now Shifter tried to turn on the roll dice. He is continuing to run away. He's actually doing quite a good job, and Roll and Dice has to be afraid of both the crit potential of Shifter early on as well as the mobility here, which he's actually going to be able to dash right around there and emerge completely free. This matchup up top can really be tough for Riven going later on in the game, since Riven really has a hard time bursting down Singed. And early on, she can get some good damage on him if she can go in with a good trade and not go through too much poison. Zion Spartan just trying to run to the side there to stay out of that poison trail as long as possible. Shifter continuing to play an aggressive mid lane, dodging around through the minions. A really good position to play against, oh wow, Orianna. And his ability to dodge around continuously makes it really difficult to land any of those abilities, since all of Orianna's abilities are skill shots or placement based, unless you want to just throw your ball on top of a Shyvana and hope that she ults the right direction. Oh, Zion Spartan going aggressively in the Horai, throws down the Ignite. Is it going to be enough, though? I'm not sure. No, the health potion was enough to save Horai's life here. Zion Spartan just forced to push this up into the turret, and at least it will deny a good amount of farm. The dive goes into the middle onto Aramis, and Shifter does grab the kill there. Shaco tried to hold the lane, but it just wasn't meant to be there, apparently. Oh, the Destined lands onto Rabas Chaos. Peekabee trying to go in. He was hexed up, and now he's going to exchange the auto attacks. He's falling low, pops the barrier. Rabas Chaos trying to take him down, but no, he falls to Peekabee, who flashes away. Hunt Doggy wants to get a kill out of this. The Literally connects, but he can't quite get it. Has to flash out of that one. Alatin looks really strong right now, playing a incredibly aggressive Thresh, and the kills are going down everywhere around the map. Evaniskus and Shifter diving once again. This combo is proving incredibly fatal. A 2-0 and 1 on both of them, actually. Incredible scores for these really solid players. Evaniskus might be a little bit out of his common nature. Now Aramis moving on the Peekabee is going to be able to burst him down. Is he? The Ignite went down and it was enough, but Aramis falls low in return. Alatin might want to turn around. He can't quite get in there, though. He doesn't have his flash, and his Ignite is almost off of cooldown, but not quite enough to take down Aramis. They did lose their AD carry, playing a little bit too far forward, but Graves is still in a pretty good spot. Grabbing up that Vampiric Scepter is going to have a lot of sustain coming to lane, and actually a pretty equal build on both of these, except for the Longsword in the advantage of the red team now. In the middle lane, Shifter is just continuously pressing this advantage. He is 10 CS ahead right now. Orianna is doing his best to come back, rolling dice, just trying to clear out some, but this lane isn't really going to get much easier for him. Zion Spartan going in onto Horai, throws down the stun and gets quite a bit of damage on it, not taking too much from the poison. Going to continue to exchange auto attacks there with Horai, and he's playing this top lane solidly. Still no kills, but with that pickaxe and longsword, it's most likely that he's going for a Ravenous Hydra for his first item up here in the top. Rabas Chaos did catch up in farm down here in the bottom lane, but I don't think he can fight out against Alatin and Peekabee now. We'll see how it goes as Alatin goes in for the aggressive flay. Oh, misses the Death Sentence, throws the lantern behind him. Evaniskus doesn't take it, though. He just continues to run in from behind. Rabas Chaos falls low there. There's Dragon's Descent, and Alatin grabs a kill out there with the Ignite. Evaniskus taking a bit of damage, but not too much, and does escape from that. Zion Spartan's pop seal. There is the stun and the last breath, the knock up, all of the damage from those two. You wouldn't think that Riven and Yasuo would make the best combination due to their history, but they certainly are ferocious here going around the map. That was Zion Spartan's first participation in a kill, but it's going to help snowball this red team with those aggressive AD solo laners. And looking at this late game, they really scale well. Lucian is going to scale well, but not as well as someone like Vayne, Jinx, or Tristana might. Now Shifter trying to take out this turret before Aramis can finish him off, but he's not going to take any turret damage. Aramis now in a rough position, has to pop that clone, actually tries to turn it around, has a good deal of damage. Shifter not looking to turn it, instead just running away from that clone. And he will be safe here, taking the first turret of the game here to the red team, who are now 3,000 gold up, a really solid spot to be in. And like I was saying, you know, against a Shaco jungle, against a Lucian AD carry, you really don't have to be too worried about getting outscaled, even if they do have a Singed and Orianna who are solid in the late game, but maybe not necessarily enough to carry it. They are certainly good additions to a team in the late game, but against this Yasuo and Riven, they might just be a little bit too strong. Zion Spartan now moving in, tries to get the stun onto Horai. There is Evaniskus coming in, but Horai is a little bit too fast, popping that ultimate and getting back under his turret. The farm going incredibly in Zion Spartan's way. Honestly, in every lane except for the bottom, it's about a 20 disadvantage. In the bottom, it's only going to be 1 or 2. Since Robus Chaos has been farming up decently, does have a kill under his belt, has died 3 times, which is going to be a pretty rough spot. Zion Spartan and Evaniskus taking out this turret up top. Oh, and is that Shifter IC moving down into the bottom lane? The fight is going. Robus Chaos throws down the culling, and Aramis does fall first. That's going to be Hunt Doggy falling immediately after Peekabee, and low health on the back. The box misses. Shifter tries to continue on the Robus Chaos. The flash flay in from Alatin. Robus Chaos turns around, is able to take down Peekabee, but the last press is there to finish him off. Roland Dice throws in the command attack, but doesn't go for. There's the command shockwave on the Alatin. The auto attack's moving in. The flay backwards. Roland Dice is trying to grab out this kill on the Alatin. Does he have the command attack for it? He does, finally, with the dissonance, but Shifter takes out the kill. He is on a rampage, 4-0 in 3. This top lane pushing in as well. Did manage to take out Horai by themselves and are going to push down onto this turret. They have a solid amount of damage, especially Shyvana with her twin bite that does put 2 hits onto the turret. Zion Spartan trying to jump away from here. Aramis defending up that turret. I doubt he can 1v2, but with Zion Spartan retreating, he might think he has Evaniskus. Aramis caught out here with the stun. A lot of damage from that burnout and auto attacks on the Aramis, and he is going to have to deceive backwards. Evaniskus is going to continue on him with the auto attacks. Aramis burning down, but is not going to fall to that. Now Horai chasing on to Evaniskus. Let's see how he can get away. Has the burnout for a bit of movement speed, and that will be enough to leave him safe. Without the Dragon's Descent, he doesn't have the best escape, but the burnout is going to be enough here. Now Peekabee transitioning to the mid lane, just looking to farm that up and push it in, applying constant pressure around the map. Oh, doing a lot of damage to Roland Dice, who does not have his command shockwave up yet, but Peekabee without the collateral damage won't be able to quite finish him off. Horai tries to move in on the Zion Spartan, but does get stunned under the turret. Is going to have to stop with Shifter moving in from behind. They could look to go on to Horai for the 1 versus 3. And that's going to be it with the burnout and the stun. There is the knockup and the last breath onto Horai, and he is finished off. Oh, they finally do slay Peekabee in the middle lane, though. 1v3 a little bit too hard for Graves to pull off himself. Still not going to set them too far back. The 2, 3, and 4 Graves. Not going to be the most powerful member on the team, but with a 2-0 Riven and a 5-0 Yasuo, I'm pretty sure they're not too worried. They definitely can't give up too many free kills. They have to be afraid of falling behind. In case they do, Shaco is always a split pushing threat, and of course Singe does have a powerful late game. However, right now, Shifter just looks unstoppable, and Zion Spartan is certainly not going to get any smaller if he keeps playing the way he has. This is going to be the first Dragon attempt of the game, with Evaniskus and Alatin moving on to it, going to further cement their gold lead from 6,000 up to 7. And that's a massive position to be in, unless Aramis can get in there with the Deceive and seal it away. He throws in the box, gets the Fear onto Alatin. Alatin's trying to block it off. The Dragon does go there to Evaniskus. Hunt Doggy falls low, runs away at the side, but the Flash Ignite in from Zion Spartan is enough to take it. Roland Dice has to be careful off the side here. Throws in the command Dissonance, but doesn't follow up with the Shockwave. Doesn't feel quite confident about the 1 versus 2. With Aramis and Robus Chaos here, he might want to go in, but not sure he's going to find his position there. Singe pushing up in the mid should get a bit of damage up on this top turret, but Singe isn't the fastest turret taker. He's a great pusher, but doesn't have a lot of damage on those. Roland Dice now caught up here between Evaniskus. Flashes over the wall and misses the knockup. Roland Dice throws the command Shockwave to come back, but Alatin is there for the death sentence. Shifter takes out the kill on that with the last breath, and that was a 1 versus 4. They continue to just outnumber the enemy team and claim them, eating them right up. The burnout burning down on the Robus Chaos. Shifter trying to continue into there. There are 3 members defending, and Robus Chaos will escape off the side there. That Wild Growth helping enormously. Aramis spamming his taunt as he does lose his inner turret here in the bottom lane. Sin's trying to return one up top, is finally going to get that after a bit of effort, but red team a bit faster in their push, going to continue on down here in the bot. Aramis coming in, trying to take out Evaniskus, and the Ignite is enough to do it, but he falls immediately after, and with the assist going over, think it was about even. Shaco does have a couple deaths on him, but not too much to make him worth nothing. And luckily for the red team, Evaniskus was not on a spree. Shifter going to stay here. Might need to take that lantern over for safety. But really isn't at too much of a risk without that command shockwave. There's not going to be too much lockup for him, and he can escape through those minions, as well as having a Thresh there in the back. Shifter continuing to push up here aggressively. Roland Dice going to go in with the command dissonance, but the box is there from Aliton, and Roland Dice going to fall immediately. Shifter coming in for the last hit. Aramis tries to go in on the Shifter, pops the clone, but has to back out immediately with the clone. His real self is staying in there, and there actually the flash in from Shifter going to go into Robust Chaos. Zion Spartan taking the kill there with the Wind Slash. Shifter falling low to the Ignite here. Is he going to be able to survive through that one? He does with a sliver of health. Tries to throw in the Tornado, but they already took out Robust Chaos. 3 kills here for the red team. Singe was forced off of the top to come down here to defend, but with a 10,000 gold advantage, this is quickly looking to be red team's game. Now going up to only 15 minutes into this, they're almost at 30,000 gold. We have a 4-0 Riven played by Zion Spartan. Picking up that BF sword is going to be working towards a Bloodthirster on top of that Ravenous Hydra. Yasuo has claimed the static shift for his first item. That item gives 40% crit chance, as well as the attack speed and movement speed, and gives him a solid bit of wave clear, which certainly helps him out. And one interesting fact about Yasuo is that his Q ability, which comprises a large part of his damage, is actually reduced by attack speed, both the cooldown and the animation time. So cooldown reduction really isn't all that important from Yasuo. It's that attack speed, which is going to make the big impact there. And with that static shiv, it's a perfect first item. Now working towards an Infinity Edge will give him 90% crit. The increased crit damage, which on Yasuo is 225%, and that'll make him a real terror if he wasn't one already. 7-0-7. Shifter's looking rather massive in this game. And, at this point, Evaniskus is really looking to win his 10th placement match. Hopefully end up in Platinum 1, which I believe is the highest I've seen someone place. Spermom goes in. Evaniskus goes in there with the Dragon's Descent. Is knocked up by the Wild Growth. That is an important ability down on Lulu, which will have a slightly longer cooldown than the Dragon's Descent. And Aramis caught in a bad spot, tries to steal away, isn't caught up by the Death Sentence and will escape off the side here, but he's going to lose his turret. That's not the spot you want to be in, and that will be the second inner turret going here for the red team. Their 5th of the game. The blue team is forming here to defend, but at this point they just don't have much hope at all. Lucian trying to go for Eternity Force, only has a Phage. Zion Spartan going aggressively into Roland Dice. Collateral damage comes across, but he's able to escape from the movement speed. Zion Spartan now in a rough spot, tries to turn it, is able to almost take down Aramis, but is shut down finally. Aramis with a little bit of health over to the side, going to stay safe now. Robust Chaos trying to trade in with some auto attacks. Horai runs in with the ball on top of them. Command Shockwave goes across, but Shifter does manage to take out Aramis on the side. Now Evaniskus just going to fall there in the middle of the team. Shifter going in, gets the 3-man knockup and last breath. The double kill, the triple kill. Robust Chaos escaping there on the side. There's no flash up from Shifter. He's going to suicide into the turret. Go in on the Roland Dice. Almost get the knockup. Aliton just flashing in. The Ignite is down on Roland Dice, but he's not going to fall yet. Death Sentence comes across, but misses. Now Robust Chaos looking to find a kill onto Aliton. A bit too far push from Red Team, but at this point, there's not much to lose, as they are almost 10,000 gold ahead. In a really solid spot. Shifter went for the quadra kill, couldn't quite get it. I would have loved to have seen the penta, but at this point, he's so fed, no one would be too surprised. That knockup was astounding on the enemy team. He did dive in and immediately press the Q, which instead of sending out a whirlwind, knocks everyone up in a radius around you. And using that, he was able to position himself exactly on top of the enemy team, keep them all up in the air at the last breath, and do massive damage. He's now picked up his Infinity Edge and his Vampiric Scepter, which is going to leave him really strong right now, sustaining up through the fights, hopefully not dying so quickly this time. But with only one death, that's not going to be Red Team's biggest worry here. Now, they do have to close out the game, but I don't think that's going to be their problem. Aramis taking out the white, getting what he can, but at this point, he just has to clamor for a little bit of defense. Shifter moving on to Horai. It's surprising to see a Yasuo chasing a Singe like that, but against a 0-3 Singe, there's not too much to worry about. Aramis has only been able to pick up a Bilgewater Cutlass, not even a Blade of the Ruined King. Only on 50 farm, going to be really starved for gold. An interesting build coming out from Evaniskus with that Spirit of the Elder Lizard. Rolling dice here, caught up, is able to flash over the wall, didn't take too much damage there. The Wild Growth from Lulu did help him out quite a bit with that. Horai and Shifter continue to duel out here, and Shifter with the crit is able to take him down. He has enormous crit at this point. I'm interested to see if he's taken any in his runes, and he has actually. He has about 5% crit chance in his runes, which will leave him at 99% exactly. So 99 in every 100 auto attacks is going to result in a good deal of damage here, as well as that static ship proc critting as well for a lot of magic damage in a pretty large area. Rolling dice going to be pretty solid at defending up this turret for at least a wave or two. That command shockwave is always in his pocket to disrupt the enemy team, but he's so far behind here. He's only been able to pick up an Athene's Unholy Grail. No real ability power outside of that. No Rabadon's Death Cap or Zonya's Hourglass, which against this triple AD team, or really 4-man AD team, would be pretty necessary. Zion Spartan now flashes in for the stun. There's a knockup as well. Rolling dice falls down immediately. And now Robin's Chaos is on a rough spot. There is Shifter with the double kill. Comes through for the triple kill. Now moving on to Aramis with the crit. Gets the quadra kill. But the pentakill was stolen away by Zion Spartan. Good try, Shifter. Maybe next time as red team look to close out the game. There's a surrender vote from the blue team. A 20-minute game here for red team. Evaniskus going 8-2 in his series. And a really solid showing there from everyone on the team. You can see why some of them are pros and why some of them at least have been and are looking to rejoin the ranks as well. So that was a lot of fun. I think I might go ahead and play a game after this. But thank you for coming out to the cast. For everyone watching on YouTube, remember to leave a comment below on what I can do better next time so I can continue to improve, because I want to be able to put on a good show for everyone and just make everyone enjoy the game better than if you're watching without commentary at all. This has been day 18 of Disciples Quest to become the very best shoutcaster ever. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much to Evaniskus for the game, and to Zion Spartan, Shifter, and everyone else who played for putting on a good show for us all. And to all of you watching, good night.